What circumstances dictate what percentage of interest you offer on an owner finance? And is it always good to let the seller dictate the price if they're going to accept zero down? There are so many layers to that. That's like a freaking onion. But let's just get right into how I address seller finances in general. I go after the best possible terms I could possibly get from the beginning. So generally, rule of thumb, like if a property is like, say, like $500,000 and under, I'm going to try to sneak my way into that deal with as little down as possible. So starting at $10,000 or $20,000 down, like kind of see like, how much money they need down, because more importantly, I find out what the seller needs, not what I want to offer. So it's a conversation with the seller. I'm just going to assume they're already open to seller finance in general. Yeah, I'm open to selling on a seller finance. Okay, well, let's talk about it. So it was a rental for you. You don't want to be a landlord anymore. You want to upgrade and go to, being a lender. So we're going to work out this deal here. So let's talk about the terms that need to make sense for you to be excited about this deal. What amount of money are you looking to get as a down payment? Or, what are you going to do with the money? Like those are questions that I would generally ask a seller. What amount of money are you looking to get down? And they say, oh, well, I was thinking 50 grand or 75 grand. If they say like a higher number, obviously I'm going to try to bring it lower. Okay, well, I could see that. For me, I'm looking to, be able to put a little bit less down so then I can go and invest some money into the property, renovating it a little bit, getting it up to, 2022 standards. So, where do you think you'd need to be for this to be able to work on the down payment side? I'm just going to continue to try to drive that down payment as low as possible to where I can try to get it to, I'm generally happy at 10% and under down on a deal, but generally I try to get it for 10,000 down, 15, 20, 25,000 down, and asking them like, what are you going to do with the money sometimes can help. Because if they start thinking about, okay, well, if I got 25 grand down, I could pay the last $5,000 off my truck. I could pay my 7 grand in credit card debt. I'd have some extra cash in my pocket. I'm not a landlord anymore, so I don't have to fix up this property. Those are conversations that you want to have with the sellers, like understanding like what they're wanting or needing the down payment for. So you understand what's more important to them. And then the monthly payment, then I just try to get that to be at a number where it's going to make sense for it to cash flow on that deal. Like if it's a regular rental, I want to be looking at $350, $400 a month net cash flow on it. So that's what I'm typically going to offer, is based on like a payment where I'm going to net $350 to $400 a month as a rental. So that's how I structure it, is I back out my monthly payment to be where I'm going to net cash flow positive on a rental. Or if it's an Airbnb, I make sure it's at least, as close to break even as possible on a rental, because if I couldn't Airbnb it down the road for some reason, I want to be able to pivot back to a rental if I had to. And then the down payment is just a kind of like a game going back and forth, figuring out how high or low I need to be. And then obviously you just make the decision on how much. I don't like to go significantly over market value with the part of your question where you're asking how much should I let them dictate on the price. Say, for example, a property's worth $300,000, but they're willing to give me the exact down payment that I want, and they're going to give me my monthly payment to give them on my terms. I may pay 10% or 15% over. If it's going for a long term of a loan, like I'll pay $330 on a $300,000 property if I know I'm going to be net cash flow positive. I know I'm putting in a reasonable amount of money down where it's still going to make sense for me, and I'm carrying this property for the long term. Sure, I'll do that. So that's how I look at that. I don't just like shoot out random offers. I craft the offers around like what the seller's looking for, and then what we need to have internally for our company to want to own that deal. That's what I do on that.